Hey guys, I'm Randy. We're gonna do another Sunday prep for lunches. I do this every Sunday. It's not always about being healthy for me, but more about saving money and time. The prepping process does take a little bit of time out of your day, I know. For me, it's a typical Sunday night. My daughter's in a room eating corn dogs, my wife has a pizza in the oven, and I'm getting lunches ready for the week. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with making our riced cauliflower. So I've got a couple things out here that we're gonna work through to get it all prepped up. So I'm gonna start with, you wanna preheat your oven to 400, okay? So you wanna make sure you preheat that. You're gonna wanna bring out your 9x13 cookie sheet. If you're using the Pampered Chef 9x13, this is a $20 cookie sheet. You can use a larger size, but for what we're doing today, you definitely don't need anything larger for that. For mixing, I've got one of my silicone prep bowls. These do come in a 3-pack with lids. I'm gonna use the largest of the 3. If you buy the 3-pack, it is $30. So we're gonna start with opening up our riced cauliflower. Now, you can buy it fresh, you can, do your thing, okay? But I'm a little bit on the lazy side. I'm also thinking about cost savings, okay? This is an inexpensive bag. It's, I think, maybe $2 for the whole thing. You don't want it to be completely thawed, but you want to be able to work it, okay? So you can see it down in there. All right, I'm gonna throw the bag away real quick. Now, typically, what I would recommend is fresh garlic, okay? You wanna pull out your garlic press. These things are $20. They're perfect. You put your garlic in there, press it, nice fresh minced garlic. In this case, I don't have any fresh garlic, so I'm gonna use, again, the cheap stuff, and I'm gonna pull my minced garlic right out of the jar, okay? You don't want a ton of it, but put as much in as you want, okay? Typically, I have fresh lemon, but guess who forgot to get that at the grocery store? Me. So you would want to have your citrus press out. You want to put your citrus right on in there. Press it so you get, a nice full flavored. I like to use lemon for this. You can use lime. It's really your preference, okay? But you would want to press that in it. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. I'm not going to use it today because I forgot to get one. That citrus press with Pampered Chef is $21 if you want it, okay? Next thing we're gonna add to it is Parmesan cheese. Now there's no set amount. It's really your call. I would say put a generous amount in, okay? Next thing you're gonna wanna grab is your mix and scrape or some form of spatula. This is the small Pampered Chef mix and scrape. You can see this thing is rubber and silicone. It's a nice addition if you don't have one already. This is only $14 through Pampered Chef. You can order this stuff on my website, just so you're aware. Pampered Chef is all about, making your life easier in the kitchen. I'm all about easy. I don't know about you guys. But all I'm gonna do here is just mix this up real good, okay? Just mix it thoroughly. You can mix it how you want. I recommend mixing it this way first, then using your fork, okay? Just the fork tends to break up those larger pieces and really get it mixed in there well, okay? All right, so when I think it's about good, I'll leave that right there. Grab your Pam cooking spray. I use olive oil. My daughter's allergic to dairy, so this is just what we keep in the house. Obviously, she's not eating this because it's full of Parmesan cheese, okay? Spray down your cookie sheet. You don't have to use a cookie sheet. I just feel that it cooks a little bit better on it. If your cookie sheet's starting to turn colors, it means you use it enough, okay? We're just gonna dump this out. The reason I like the silicone is because you can really work it and make sure everything comes out without having to really scrape it. You can use your scraper to get the rest out, okay? Spread it out. Make sure it's nice and thin. This would be a good time if you had your citrus of choice, whether that's lemon or lime, to go ahead and squeeze some extra on top. It is very good with lemon, but again, that's your call if you want to do that. All right. So I also like to add a little bit of chili powder on it, okay? Some flavor. And then I'll sprinkle a little bit of extra Parmesan cheese on top. If it wants to come out, there we go. And I say a little bit, that's a lot of bit. All right, so again, 400. This is gonna take about 30 to 45 minutes to cook. We'll pull it out and check it in 40 minutes. We want it to be nice and crisp, so we're gonna put it in the oven and set the timer. Okay, so continuing on with our meal prep. Today I'm gonna do drums. I keep saying, sorry. My wife got on to me about that. So what we did here was actually brine the chicken. So what that means is we're gonna put water. We're gonna put water in them. Yeah, you can use a bowl, you can use a bag, whatever you want, and heavily saturate it with salt. I actually used salt and seasoned salt just because I wanted to get a little bit more flavor. So I'm actually gonna pull these out and put them on a plate here. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more seasoning before we add them to the air fryer, okay? Now, this is the first time for me. I have never cooked raw anything in the air fryer, so we're gonna all say a little prayer here that these turn out good.
And we have a little dog down below.
Yeah, we got a little munchkin down there. Sorry, that's what, I don't know who sneezed, but one of them did. We're gonna get this out of our way. You wanna take a look at those? They look okay, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what chicken's supposed to look like when it comes out of water that's salted, but there it is. Salted water chicken. All right, so I'm just gonna add some seasoning to it. So chili powder, you can get whatever brand you want. Garlic powder, onion powder, and I'm not gonna go crazy on the seasoned salt considering it just got saturated in salt. So I'm just gonna add some of these things to it. Try not to kill it. Oh. All right. Look at that. This technique everybody's watching. Watch, I'll pour like a gallon on one of these in a second. All right. And like I said, just a little bit of the seasoned salt because I really don't want to overdo. So I'm going to do these. I'm actually going to flip them over because I kind of would like to have seasoning on both sides of my chicken. All right. I know somebody's probably thinking there's an easier way to do that. If you have any recommendations, please send them my way because I am always willing to take them, okay? I don't pride myself on being a professional chef. This is my hobby. This is how I feed myself. It's my hobby to eat. Weird, I know. All right, so back to just talking about it real quick. I'm not using anything Pampered Chef related here. This is just keeping it simple, okay? I have a plate, chicken, seasonings, okay? Nothing special. This chicken costs, I don't know, $3 at the store. There's 2, 4, 6, 7 here. So a couple days I'll get more than one drum. But now we're just gonna add these to the air fryer and we'll see how it goes here. I'm just gonna put them in and we'll check back in a few minutes and see what they look like. All right, so we're about halfway through. I set this timer for about 24 minutes, so we're actually a little past halfway. So they're looking good. We're gonna flip these over. You wanna make sure you keep them nice and tight so they get good and crispy. But I'm gonna flip all these over here in just a minute. I also just wanna real quick open up the oven, ignore everything that's cooking, and check on our stuff. So it's getting pretty close. We're about halfway through there. Ignore the pizza. That's not meal prep. All right, so I pulled this out. We've got about 15 minutes left on the timer. Mine's actually looking pretty good. I'm just scraping it, flipping it around. Like I said, you really want it to be crispy. You don't want it to be too soft. Of course, it's to your preference, but I don't like it when it's too soft. I just don't like the flavor of it. I'm not a huge cauliflower fan, but so I'm thinking we're gonna cut this one short, but we like I said, we got about 15 minutes left. I'm gonna probably leave it in there for about another 5 minutes and then check it out and see how it looks. Each oven's different, so it's gonna cook it a little bit differently each time. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and stop this now. 30 minutes is where we're at. You can see it's nice and crispy. Obviously, it's gonna be to your liking. However, 30 minutes on 400 seems to be the trick in my oven. Now, your oven could be a little bit different. My oven in Texas was also a little bit different. Okay, make sure your oven's off so nothing happens. We don't want any explosions. Our chicken's got about 2 minutes left, so we'll be checking that out in just a minute. Just make sure you let that cool down before you start dispersing it, okay? All right, so as you can see, we're finishing up here. Again, 24 minutes in the air fryer. So we're gonna end up, we're gonna turn it off, right? Go ahead and pull this thing out. Look at that. That is some good looking chicken. So first thing you're gonna wanna do, okay? Nobody wants to eat raw meat. Check your chicken, use your thermometer, make sure we're at least 160 degrees. So we're checking it right now. Let's see if it needs to stay in there for longer or if we're good enough. Okay, reiterate, chicken 160 degrees or it's not cooked. Ooh yeah, 160, almost on the money. Woo! All right, so we're good. So you can pull these out, disperse them. We did 24 minutes. Remember, brine the chicken first. Make sure when you brine it, there's extra salt in that water so it gets nice and salty. This will help keep the chicken really juicy when you're throwing in the air fryer. In the air fryer, usually your air fryer is gonna tell you what it recommends. I did 24 minutes. That seems to be the sweet spot. You can do what you want. Different air fryers have different temperature settings. But just to recap, we did the fried chicken drums and then we did the baked cauliflower. Cauliflower is awesome, by the way. Try it. But you can spread this out however you want for your meal prep. But make sure that you separate it into dishes, because if you don't, you're going to overeat or you're going to run out of food. So make sure that you have 5 days worth or 4 days, whatever you're looking for. Okay, I hope you guys have a great night. If you have questions, let me know. Send me messages, comment, go to my website, order some of the things that we talked about, like the cookie sheet, the mix and scrape, the silicone prep bowls, the garlic press, the citrus press. Get all those things, while you can. They're very inexpensive. Nothing I mentioned to you costs more than $30, okay? So get it while you can, and enjoy your meal.